Welcome to Strictly Hoops with CJ and Miles. Today, CJ, you're doing something, but we are going to talk about.
I had my sage was burning. I didn't want the smoke to be going into the thing. But yes, we are here. Playoff fresco, playoff. Yeah. I'm gotta give you a name. Gotta give you a nickname. We're gonna work on that.
Oh, geez.
Gotta give you a nick. Yeah, we gotta get you a nickname.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
For the internets.
Speaking of smoke, the Celtics did smoke the 76ers last night pretty handedly.
Yes,
it's always a good sign for the home team when your starters don't play for literally the whole fourth quarter. They stomped them, right? So right off the bat,
and one of your starters, the best guy on your team, arguably has 7 points.
Yeah. Because of foul trouble. So that's a separate
another
topic.
Thing.
I mean, maybe it's just like that is what it is. It's one of those days for him. But obviously, Joel Embiid comes back. First off, MVP. Salute to him. Congrats to well deserved, man. That was all the love he's getting from several different players throughout the NBA. Fred VanVleet reached out, Pascal Siakam. The list goes on of guys that are just, giving him his credit, giving him his due because
and his journey too.
Unbelievable season, man. Yeah.
And his journey too, just from the start of this thing, like just the leaps that he made to be who he is.
Yep.
Is crazy. Congrats to him for that though.
How do you think he looked yesterday? Didn't look great.
Yeah, he didn't look bad, but he didn't look like the MVP. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't look what's the best. He didn't look lively. That's the best thing. Like, he looked like he was feeling it out in the beginning. There's one time he's backpedaling and he falls down by himself. Like, he's got the brace on. He's got obviously you don't play for 2 weeks and you jump into a playoff game. There's a rhythm thing that's expected. So he didn't look like he was out of shape or anything. He just didn't look like he was like he had fell into the game, really. He looked like he was trying to figure it out. And you're playing against a good defensive team also.
Definitely.
And you stepping into the game, too. I think mentally we got to think about you watched your team win the first game and you watched some guys play well, and now you don't want to take away from that, even though you are the MVP. I am Joel Embiid, but as a team, as a unit, I don't want these guys – I don't want to take away from what we have. Or what we did the first game. I think that's the thing that comes mentally too.
His comments afterwards were revealing when he was asked why did he play, because everyone could tell that he just wasn't right. And he's like, well, I saw an opportunity for us to go up 2-0 and I wanted to help the team. And also and this was the interesting part. He's like, the injury that I have, it's 4 to 6 weeks to recover. I'm only a couple weeks into this. It's like, so there was going to be some pain and I'm better off just like getting back into a rhythm as best I can. So that way, come game 3, I've already got the cobwebs out. I'm in a better spot. And then you can roll from there. I think that's the biggest part of this. And I mean, he knew probably he wasn't going to feel right, or there's going to be some adjustments on his end. He's going to have to feel this whole process out. But now game 3, they've already won a game. It's 1-1. They've done their job.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You go to game 3 and you got probably a better version of Joel Embiid.
No, his outlook on it is good because you think about it too. Like, they're coming back swinging hard second game at home. So now you add me to the mix after what we did the first game, like that we can go up 2-0, like you said, on the road, and that's big, especially against Boston. Yeah. And I salute the effort and his mindset in it, but it's just. Like you said, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a little bit. And he gets to go into game 3 at home with some confidence, with some in his body, not worried about his game. The game is his game. We know who he is. It's just his body and feeling it and getting in and getting out there and understanding what he can do to help his team.
What did Boston do differently against James Harden? And also, how did they guard that Embiid Harden pick and roll effectively?
I think the biggest thing that I noticed, one, not that they haven't been guarding this way, but just seeing Jalen being up on him early in the game. Like anytime he could pick him up early on the court, like 3/4 court, almost full court, he's there. And he's not like overly pressuring him, trying to steal it. He's just there. Yeah. Just trying to put a dent in his tempo. Like, I'm gonna dictate you, I'm gonna turn you a little bit, might stab at it, might not. I'm just gonna be here. And he did a great job. And then the one thing they do really well, Boston, is when James Harden is in the slot, like say he's in the right slot and there's a single side, there's one corner guy right here. They forcing him to his right, sending him downhill, and so he can't draw a foul. The guy that's guarding the corner guy, it's a jump switch. That guy goes, and the guy that was guarding Harden goes to the corner.
Yeah.
And now there's somebody back in front of him, and I get to the shooter. So it's not just the easy And it takes less help now from the weak side because somebody is a body back in front of him. The rim protector doesn't have to come. Right? You ice him, and then you send the corner guy. If it's single side, he's not gonna. James Harden's not gonna drive to the double side, like because he knows there's not enough space. So when it's single side, and you send that guy from the corner who gets to get directly back in front of him, instead of when you get the angles is where he draws all his fouls, or the shot blocker's got to be there early and he gets his assist. But when you do it this way, if that guy that was behind trailing gets to the corner fast enough, like they were, it makes the game different for him. And he still got to the line. He's still James Harden. He still does what he does. But I think they just him and Jalen and Malcolm Brogdon they just made sure they were there. They just made sure they were there. That's what you can do for these guys. You just try to wear them down.
Joe Mazzulla was asked, what was the mood around the locker room after game one and the days leading up to game two? He's like, we were pissed. They were angry. And Jaylen Brown, to his credit, he went about it himself saying, I'm going to guard James Harden to start this game. He set the tempo. He set the pace.
On both
he stamped
ends.
It. Yeah, definitely.
On both ends. He was
100%.
Great offensively and defensively in the first half. He has 13 in the first quarter. Attacking the basket, mid-range shots. He's doing all type of things, right? And you can see it, and you can see him out there emotionally. You see him hitting his chest, telling us like you getting him. He's in it.
Yeah,
like he wanted it, and you could see it. And he was great. And then Tatum was great early too. Obviously, got in foul trouble, but they both were attacking. And salute to Joel Embiid for his rim protection. But as much as Boston got to the paint, like that's hard on him too. And of course, we're gonna start making threes because we get into the paint all the time.
Exactly. And they wanted to test him. Brogdon said that afterwards, that we wanted to see, where are you at, big fellow? How you feeling? And they found out he looked pretty good at times, but also, I mean, not playing for so long, getting back in here, probably the legs are a little bit heavy outside of the knee injury. So they wanted to test him out. And they wanted to see. Coach Mazzulla says he wants the Celtics to get up 43s a game. They were pretty close to that.
They got him up last night. They got him up.
Exactly. So against Joel Embiid and his drop coverage, and we just talked about his rim protection and the imposing figure that it is. It's hard sometimes to get that rim pressure when someone like him is there. So, what are the methods of the Celtics to ensure that they're getting off those threes, which are really important to their offense?
I mean, there's two ways we attack this thing, right? The first is Grant Williams and Horford make threes, right? If he's dropping that much and we come off and we throw it back and they make threes. The other thing though also is they keep attacking Joel like he's doing, because even if he's deferring shots, he's got to go defer that shot. Now we have an offensive rebounding advantage.
Yeah.
So we keep attacking and he's got to keep on trying to come block these shots because we're getting by people and getting to the rim. The offensive rebounds are open. There's a couple threes made off offensive rebounds last night. There's a couple putbacks made off. And those plays are more deflating than anything because you feel like you play defense for 20 seconds and they get a easier shot after the 20 seconds to knock down. Or you have to play another 10 seconds of defense after, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think those two things they're doing is like when it's Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they attack them. Because their size and they feel like they have a chance to finish at him, and they do that, and they making him work also. So even if he is blocking some shots in the first, that's work that he's got to do. And he's not going to be early the whole game if you're making him work like that.
It's cool to see Grant Williams getting back into the rotation. Yeah. He's been in and out all season, so that's good for him. I like what Al Horford does, and he shot a lot of threes yesterday. Didn't make many. However, you can probably bank on he's going to have a game where if he shoots 10 threes per game throughout the series, he's going to have one game where he makes 5.
Yeah, he's gonna make 5 or 6.
Right?
He's gonna make 5 or 6 for sure. He might make 7. Like he's capable
for sure,
especially because they're standstill. A lot of them are really good looks. He had good looks yesterday. A couple you could tell he was just being aggressive because that was the game plan. He caught and shot some fast, and I think that's also to make him work. Make him get from that spot to get back out to me. Make them work defensively. And like you said, we still have the offensive rebound advantage because now we got these long rebounds with our 5 out and the big guys are running around. I think you just keep the pressure up, and I think they play with a good pace. Malcolm Brogdon was great. Big push, big punch off the bench, right? 6th man of the year, obviously. Like he was that.
What I like about the Celtics, and this is the weapon of having pull-up three-point shooters like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, is that you can just run some dribble handoff with Al Horford, and they only need a little bit of airspace to get that shot off, and it's a pretty high percentage look because they are so good, and they can run that in a lot of cases. And if unless Joel Embiid is going to come up to the level, that shot's going to be open for them. And, you know, with Embiid, sometimes he's late switching, other times he's dropping. It's kind of a bit of the chess match that they're playing on the 76ers side of when it comes to their defense. But again, making Joel Embiid backpedal, making him come up to the level, getting him away from the basket is what the goal is.
Like you said, just testing him, making him move, making him show him every type of thing we could attack him with. And the other thing is those guys aren't mid-range shooters too. So if he keeps retreating, Jaylen Brown is capable of scoring in the mid-range. Jason Tatum is capable of scoring. Brogdon is scoring. Marcus Smart makes floaters. Like these guys have guys. Then you got White getting his rhythm back yesterday. Like you got people coming back into this thing. Grant Williams, like you said, that makes this dangerous for them, especially if they're going to be able to get to the paint the way they're getting to the paint. They are touching the paint.
Yeah,
a lot. Like I'm talking, if you watch that first quarter again, everybody's putting their head down trying to get downhill. With Joel, they're not.
Yeah,
they're going.
So you got Tyrese Maxey, he's rolling.
Nice.
Tobias Harris, knows his role and he's going to be doing it pretty well. You would think going into Game 3. James Harden, he missed shots, a lot of them makeable for his standards. Joel Embiid, you see where he's at, but in the end, you're your 76ers. You're feeling pretty good about going home now. So how do they, penetrate this Boston defense, which was really locked in yesterday? But I mean, going home, you're going to think that the 76ers are going to play better offensively.
Yeah, I'm not worried about my main guys. They're going to be so I'm not worried about James. I'm not worried about Joe. They're going to figure it out. They're that good. I'm not. Like, if I'm not overly thinking that part. I'm thinking of how to get my bench better. Like they have capable guys that can give them sparks to the bench. And you looked at the bench stashes, they don't give them anything yesterday.
No.
And then I'm looking at maybe to get Tobias more looks, more activity, because he is playing well. Don't want to overload him and shift the whole thing where we but just get him some more stuff and get him rolling. Because if it's just his night and he decides to have us a 35-point night, which he's capable of, that's a big load taken off of Joel finding his rhythm and James having to do some of the things he doesn't want to do. Other thing is, PJ, they're leaving PJ a lot.
They got to make a decision, man.
Yeah, and it's like him. And so do we put Niang in, who shoots the ball really well, but then we give up a lot of defensive things that we give a PJ. They're basically like the two different players. Like
they're going to attack him. Yeah, they're going to attack him.
So they're going to attack him. So we're going to have that problem. So we got to figure out ways to shift it, or PJ just got to shoot it. He's passing up shots to try to go drive on Robert Williams. The reverse layups gets blocked. Like, just shoot the three. Like, that's not his strength. Like to drive left, the reverse layup after I much rather that corner three go up than that.
Yeah,
because at least we get a shot attempt,
and it's in the flow of the offense too.
And you're capable.
It's a good shot. Yeah.
And we believe in you. I believe in him making that shot. I'm not even on his team. I'm not even playing. I think that's a capable shot for him. I don't know what it is, and maybe he's not confident right now, but whatever it is, but I think he's got to take that shot. I'm not saying he's got to be uber aggressive and take bad ones, but the ones that come in the flow, they got to go up.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not going to go up, we got to put somebody there that's going to shoot them, because it's the only way we're going to balance the floor back.
They know. And
test you.
Exactly.
Like they did Grant Williams last year, and then Grant Williams shot the leather off the ball. Got all those open threes. Those big games. Like, have a night. Why not?
PJ Tucker hits 4 threes in Game 3. Ooh.
And that's not out of the question. 4 is not out of the question for him, especially when the ones he's getting looks at.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting. CJ, thanks for the chat. Game 3, Celtics 76ers should be a fun one. This series is going to be a fun one. I mean,
it's a good series.
It's going to go the distance. There's no reason to think otherwise.
One more shout out though, like Tyrese Maxey is nice. We said his name. We said he's so nice.
Yeah.
He's really, really good, man. Like, his game he's developing into like a really, really good scorer. Not just like, he's got a lot of stuff he's putting in his game. Shout out to him, man.
And the amount of times that off a score, he's pedal to the metal, down the court, scoring in transition. And
he's scoring on made baskets crazy too. Yeah. Like, he's getting downhill. He's attacking people. He shoots it well. Like, he's got a lot in his game, and he's still adding. He's still young, real young.
All right, CJ.
Dallas boy.
Good chat, bro.
Texas
Dallas
boy. Yeah. So, funny story. His dad was my freshman high school basketball coach.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to end it right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shout out to the Maxies, man.
Strictly Hoops with CJ Miles. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.